Hello, welcome back to Budget Bangers. I'm going to have to start this video off with an apology. I have had an absolutely hectic week last week with cars, getting work done and things like that, so I haven't had time to get any footage. Unfortunately, YouTube is a hobby. I don't get anything from it, so my business has to take priority because I am self-employed. I do this for a living, trading cars off my driveway. So yeah, unfortunately there's going to be times where I've got to prioritise doing the work rather than getting videos of it, because it doesn't take up a lot of time. It just slows you down a lot, and when you're busy, yeah. So I'll update you on what's happened. The little Fiesta that's sold, that's gone to a trader, which I'm happy about. It'll get the attention it deserves. It's just a trader that just sells cheapy little cars, sort of like what I sell, but he sells them for the retail value, or closer to the retail value. I do a lot of business with traders and things like that, so I'm happy about that. Obviously, in the last video, it got cleaned up, things that came really nice. It was a really nice car. He was impressed with it. I was sad to see it go, but I can't keep it. If I kept them all, I'd have an unhappy wife and an empty bank account. So yeah, unfortunately that's how it is. The other one is the 207, which was one of the reasons why I was busy, because I know this isn't probably going to come as a surprise, but it did fail its MOT. One thing which should have got noticed on its previous MOT before I bought it was the bottom arm bush had completely dropped out. Like, when I took it out, it wasn't even attached to the arm at all. But sums up the rest of the car. And there's another bit. It failed actually on some welding on the driver's side rear sill, which I'll be honest with you, obviously I cleaned the sills up. I missed looking at it. The factory underseal was thick, no signs of rust whatsoever, but when the MOT testers had a poke round, it was a bit squishy, so he's failed it, and when you peeled it back, there was a hole there. So that one there, I'm a bit like, yeah, fair enough if you've missed that. My MOT garage is quite thorough with stuff. It does cost me money, but it means I sell cars that are right. But yeah, and I've also made a start on the Seat Leon as well. I've done the front disc pads, 2 front coil springs, 2 anti-roll bar links, and I've cleaned up the back brakes because they were brand new. They just had some very slight surface rust on them, so I just gave him a going over with a bit of sandpaper by hand, and he came up like brand new. But this is one of the ones I'm going to be dealing with now. I've got the logbook through for it. This is going to be a cheap little abuser for somebody. It's a Mercedes A-Class A150, which isn't like the newer ones. I think everybody who knows cars know that the Mercedes A180 is basically a Mercedes with the engine out of a Renault Megane in it. This is a proper Mercedes as far as I'm aware. The quirky little cars, they're a bit Marmite. People love them or hate them, but by the time I'm done with this, I'm probably going to be putting this up for £1,000, and I'm probably not going to take any less than that. If you look on Marketplace and things like that, with a year's MOT in it, you're going to struggle to find something, especially a Mercedes for less, especially in this area. It was an MOT failure. Fingers crossed, not like the previous one. They failed it on front brake imbalance, near side front brake binding, which is a caliper. They failed it on a near side front shocker, but I've had a look. It's got a broken spring. There's nothing wrong with the shocker, so I'm assuming they've just clicked the wrong thing. Obviously it's been parked up, so the handbrake's a bit sticky now, so I'm going to have a little bit of a look at that. Oh, and they filled in a bulb not being in right. The image is all wrong. I'm assuming it's either in or wrong because these headlights are a touch cloudy, but I can't see there being any problems. But yeah, we'll have a look around this, and yeah, we'll see what £1,000 gets you. For me, it's a lot of money for the car. I think the full retail price of this is $16.95. I'll be honest with you, the amount of places out there that probably retail something like this, because it's got 167,000 miles on it, you're going to struggle to find a place that will give you a retail for this car. And generally, if they provide a warranty, they're going to be very strict, because at the end of the day, it's a 2006 car. It's got miles on it. But we'll have a look around. It's nice. It's very nice. We've got half leather seats. We've got the usual cracking on the bolster here, but again, you're not going to complain, are you? And we'll jump in it, and we'll listen to it purr into life. Now, this car has been sat on my driveway for about a month, and then it was sat at the dealer's yard before I bought it. It was maybe sat there a week or so. It's obviously saying it's overdue a service by just shy of 4,000 miles, which for a car of this sort of age, I don't think you're going to complain too much about. As I said, the handbrake, if I put my foot on the brake, you can see there, got quite a bit of free play before you start feeling resistance. So if I pull, I start feeling some resistance there. It works. It works a bit too well. I mean, like, I've not got my foot on the brake and the handbrake's off, and we're not moving anywhere. And if I give the car a bit of a shake, it tries to move. But yeah, it's something to look at. It's not the end of the world. For people who know Mercedes, know that a Mercedes handbrake, they barely ever work. Especially the ones where you got the little pedal down here to press and the release. More than the bigger Mercs that. But yeah, you're getting a lot for your money, I think. You know, you got a screen here, which has got a big black circle on it for some reason. I'm guessing something's happened to it, but the radio works at the end of the day. That's the main thing. I don't know whether this is genuine or, because some of the buttons don't seem to work for it, but some of them do. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you got your touchscreen display, which all works. You can go through all your stuff here, your radio CT. It's even got Bluetooth, apparently, and navigation. Yeah, everything seems to work. It's just, like, touchscreen wise, it's just these buttons don't seem to work. So, say, like, if I press radio here, it does nothing. Audio, you know, back, home. Oh. Okay, back works. And home works. But we've got a couple of buttons that don't seem to want to do anything. And a couple of buttons that do then. No service history. I've got a set of front and rear brake pads. I'll be honest with you, I had a Mercedes come in that was a cheapy little trade car that came with a set of brake pads. I know these back ones aren't going to be right, but there's a possibility these front ones might be right, which will save pennies, because this has a problem with its front caliper, and the front caliper I was quoted, I think it was £84 plus the VAT, which is going to be like £100 just about off the top of my head. which is absolutely astronomical for a brake caliper. But there's a surcharge on it as well, so that it'd just be a remanufactured part, and they want your old part back basically, so they can remanufacture that. So what I'm going to try and do is have a look at it, see if we can do a little mini refurb on it, and hopefully save ourselves some money. Because I think I had a look online, you could get like rebuild kits for them on things like AutoDock and things like that. You'll get rebuild kits for them for, I think it was like £20, which £20, £100. I'm basically going to be spending £100 to get a unit that's been remanufactured and giving somebody my old unit so they can remanufacture it. So we're going to try and cut out the middleman and do a bit of a refurb on it ourselves. Interior wise, we've got the rip on the bolster, but it's a bit of a crack in the vent there by the hazard switch, but other than that, it is nice. If there's one thing I can tell you, these are quirky cars. They're a bit tall and narrow and a bit funny, but automatic lights, electric windows and mirrors. This is a lot better than a Vauxhall Corsa for me. If I was out buying a car and I'd saw this, or even a 2010 Vauxhall Corsa, I'd take this all day. It does do 33 just shy of 34 miles a gallon. And in here you can just tell there's, just by touching things, and when you work with cars a lot, you can kind of get a feel for quality, and this is an old Merc, so it does have a bit of quality about it, whereas if this was a Corsa, I really think all sort of stages, and especially, like a Corsa wouldn't even reach 167,000 miles. That's one thing I can tell you. But we'll carry on looking around. Have a look in the back. It barely even wants a valet. I think this is just literally get a quick hoover, and that is it. Now these seats, we've got a bit of stitching coming away where we've got the Isofix, but other than that, it doesn't even look like it's been sat in. Proper tailored rubber mats for it as well. As I said, if somebody offered me a 2010 Corsa or this, I'd quite happily take this. It's got some petrol in it as well, so once I get it MOT'd, I'll probably just do a bit of shooting about in this. It's got a nice proper privacy blind. Somebody's left some stuff in here. Somebody's jammer bottoms, lovely. First aid kit not special in there. I don't think there's out. This is a good sign. For one, this tells me that the person who owned this would have been a bit of an elderly person, because this is the sort of thing that people, I've seen elderly people make car mats out of old cut off bits of carpet and things like that, so it's a good sign this car has been looked after, at least. Under here, bit grimy under here, but it's not, sorry about that, pressed the button on my phone. It's not too concerning under here. Even dirt wise, you've got the guard for the back bumper so you don't mark it. It has got an absolute shin killer of a tow bar. Like, how does somebody live with that? I mean, like, that is, for those of you who have had the unfortunate experience of catching your shin on a tow bar, you'll know it hurts. And that there is, nice, and it's a nice ripe spot that's probably you're going to have to keep an eye on, because good old tennis ball cover on the end of it as well, because that'll save your shin pads. But yeah, tow bar. Looking around the car in general, bodywork wise, I'm not even going to say that it's bad. We've got some cloudy headlights, which should polish up. Got the I've a little scuff there. Nobody's going to care. Some stone chips are starting to get a bit of rust to them. Tiny little marks on it here and there. Coming down this side, got a good wing. Mirror isn't loose or damaged. The obvious little scratch marks around the handle. This bit of trim's poking out a touch. I don't think. It's doing it on this door as well. I don't think anybody's going to care. We've got a big out scratch growing right from the front. I don't know whether that's been malicious or not, but if it is malicious, they've not done a very good job, because most of it's actually coming off just by my finger. We have had a bit of a makeshift repair here. Looks like somebody's just silking the bumper on for some reason. But again, all I'll do is I'll attack it with some thinners to try and tidy it up, so we don't have all these bits on it. It's the end of the bumper secure, you can see there. It's not coming off. That's all that matters. It's got good tyres all round. I think it's had some tyres last year, Devantes, which are a budget brand. A little bit of a rust spot up here, which is a bit of a shame, but it's an old Merc. It's got these daft surrounds on the number plates, which they've kind of lost their effect, so like your number plate jumps about. Somebody's tried to silicone in bumper on this side as well. They haven't done as good of a job, but again, it's secure. So we'll just tighten that up a little bit. Again, this is going to be a cheap car. All the wheels won't refit, the usual sort of stuff that you... That's the thing. At this sort of level of car, you can get away with stuff like that. It has had a bit of a paint job here, which isn't bad, but it's good either. Again, you look at it, it doesn't look too bad. It's just, it's been a bit of a rattle can job, which at the end of the day you're not gonna care. It looks alright. It's perfectly presentable. Have a gander under this bonnet. Again, it's all as it should be under here. Little 1.5 petrol engine ticking away. These are funny old engines, They're kind of on an angle like that. They are quirky and they're a pain to work on. But, it's done 167,000 miles, so you know, even though it's got no service history, it's got to have been looked after, because it won't have lasted that long without getting service. And if it was owned by somebody who was elderly, they look after things. You get your odd marks even there if an elderly person's had a car, but there was a generation where the car was an important thing, a big investment in your life, so they look after them. Number plate surround's alright on the front. But yeah, headlight's a bit loose there. I'm sure we can knock something to kind of, that's what it's supposed to look like. A bit surprised that hasn't been noted on an MOT. It's still secure in a sense, it just wobbles about a bit. Yeah. Yeah, you can't complain too much for £1,000. I'm hoping I can get it done so I can sell it for £1,000. If I'm having to put more money into it, it's yeah, I might struggle to be able to sell it for £1,000. Worst case, 1,200 quid. That's if I'm having to spend extra money on it. Caliper, try and save that. Worst case, that's 100 quid. A coil spring, I did price them up. I think front coil spring might have been about 30 quid. There's 130 quid. You potentially wants a set of pads in it. It was advised on the disc, but I've had a look at them. They're not too bad. Not too bad at all. A bit of a harsh advisory if you ask me, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. If I can clean up the back brakes without spending money, if I can get the front brakes done spending as little money, and yeah, we're going to try and see how you can make money on a budget car like this. Because I know I watch YouTube all the time, and people who watch Chop's Garage, he always says it is nigh on impossible to make money on a car that is sub £2,000, which it is difficult, I'm not going to lie, but it can be done, and I'm determined that this one is going to be £1,000 with a profit. And yeah, so let's see if we can get this done. But we'll leave this video here because I've been rambling on enough as it is. But yeah, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like my content. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm very grateful for now having over 300 subscribers. It's massive for me. I'm honestly surprised that anybody wants to watch me ramble on about these old cars. Leave a comment. Happy to get back to you as much as I can. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Thanks again, 300 subscribers. See you on the next one.